So what's next? Finals of
Yeah,
the
we have
hurdles?
our 15-minute break, I believe, in
Oh, okay.
between trials and hurdles.
Got it.
Or trials and finals, sorry. And then we'll get going with those. And then the meet will continue straight through from then on.
But yeah, it's a beautiful day here.
It is really
Belmont.
nice out.
It's getting warmer and warmer. I
This
think
is
it's
like
supposed
warmer.
to get up to
It's
like,
like the nicest day we've had all year.
Yeah.
I think it's 60 right
yeah,
now.
it's supposed to be it's low 60s right now. The wind is not bad right now. I mean, I came in shorts hoping that I wouldn't have to put any pants on, and right now it's looking like I'm not going to have to. But yeah, I mean, you can't ask for a much better day. It's partly cloudy, so you're not getting too much sun down, but just enough that you get that warm feel from the sun.
Yeah, it's 60 right now. Might get up to 65. A little
Pretty
cloudy.
good.
Yeah,
A little
not bad.
cloudy.
I mean, the sun makes it feel
Yeah, way
so
A little
nice.
bit warmer,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's
'Cause
pretty nice right now.
We've had days where it's 60 out, but
Well, even yesterday
With
was
the wind.
with the wind. It
yeah.
was about 60 or so yesterday, high
yeah, a little
50s.
cloudy too.
But
Yeah,
the
when
cloud
Exeter
blocked
was
that.
a little, the coast. You know?
Yeah, and you get that coast feel. It's kind of cloudy, and the wind definitely didn't help. But today is
Yeah, the
It's pretty
sun,
nice.
sun and some still air makes a big difference in how the temperature feels, regardless of what the actual temperature really is.
We got a weatherman over here.
yeah.
I'm gonna go into meteorology.
This guy studies everything he can. Photos, videos, meteorology,
I have to be prepared. Anything we talk about on the live stream.
rice
be
cake
informed.
connoisseur.
That was actually the first rice cake I've ever eaten in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you rate it? 1 to 10.
A rice cake, like those little like.
Yeah, little
Yeah.
circle ones.
I-
I actually
I-
have some in my bag if you want one.
It's like I almost can't rate it. It was just like
Well,
nothing.
What did you have the plain one or did you have like a,
It was
a
like
flavor?
What was it?
caramel.
Okay, yeah, those are good.
It was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Those are good.
It tasted.
The plain
it-
ones taste like styrofoam.
I
Yeah,
told,
see, that's why I would not do that.
no.
I told Jimmy, I was like, it just tastes like eating like a,
Oh, it was like
a
condensed
block
popcorn.
of popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like it's like it almost tastes stale, but it's like not a bad stale.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's weird.
Well, that's the thing. So I opened the bag at the beginning of the meet. I took one out, and Jim McKenzie, or we call him Jimmy Mac, he saw it and he's like, "Hey, you got one of those?" And so
Yeah,
I
he
gave
was
him
all
one.
into those rice
So the
cakes.
bag was kind of open. So throughout the meet, it kind of like got a little bit stale. So I had one at the end of the meet, and it just did not taste as good. And that's what it really tasted like, circus peanuts or like the packing
Have
popcorn.
you ever even had circus peanuts?
Yeah, I have.
When's the last time you
I-
went to a circus?
No, dude, you can get the candy at the stores. My dad loves it, and it's just bless his soul. I don't know how he eats them, but it's I guess it's for him. It's not for me though.
They have those little cheddar ones. Those are good.
Okay.
The little cheddar. Yeah, I've had those. It's a good snack.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to eat a little bit healthier. I heard
Rice
rice
cakes.
is pretty good for you, so I was like, oh, rice cakes.
Gotta get
and
those Kodiak cakes. It was
Yeah.
the
Oh, the
protein
Kodiak cakes.
Pancake mix.
I made some of those muffins. I'll tell you, I'm gonna plug Kodiak cakes right now. So they're not the tastiest things, but they're packed with about 15 grams of protein in them, and whole wheat.
I
And,
feel like we should mention we're not sponsored in any way by Kodiak Cakes.
No, we're
Evan
not
just
sponsored.
really
but, you
likes
know,
them.
I like to be healthy, so I'm gonna plug the good stuff. But yeah, so rice cakes and Kodiak cakes, can't go wrong.
Yeah. You know who's a big fan of Kodiak Cakes is Eli Moskowitz.
Is it really?
And if he eats Kodiak cakes, then everybody should eat Kodiak cakes.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty quick.
Yeah, he was. What was it? 8:44.
8:40. Yeah, 8:44.
8:44 in the 2 miles. So hey, maybe that's the key.
Yep. Laus Games. Was that like
That was
2015? Something?
5-6 years ago.
Not that long.
No, it was probably about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
My freshman sophomore year. Your
Yeah.
sophomore year.
Yeah, that was a good race.
We're gonna.
We're going to pause for a moment for the national anthem before the start of the finals for hurdles and the sprints. Just to let you know. Performed by some local musicians. Look to be on the track team. on
We could get all
National
final
anthem,
hurdle
400
finalists
double.
and 100 finalists checking in, please.
So I'm not quite sure what we're doing right now. We thought we were doing the national anthem.
Yeah, I think they're getting ready for it.
It looks like they're just testing out some things. So if we do cut out in a second, it'll be because of the national anthem. But yeah, so we're going to be getting ready for the finals of the 100-meter dash, guys and girls, and the 110 hurdles for guys and 100 hurdles for women. We are currently in the 15-minute gap between preliminaries and finals. That's why we're kind of just hanging out, talking about rice cakes and some other food.
They're still high jumping.
And it looks like
Amazing. They're still going up.
Feeling good today.
Yeah. I mean, that looks like it's 6 foot or a little over.
Yeah, I don't think they have like a thing. where you
Yeah,
can
they don't have
see.
a.
I think they all were also like measuring it, so maybe.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
But it looks pretty
It's
high.
decent height.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I could go under it.
I mean, anywhere around 6 feet is like
It's impressive.
Yeah.
very impressive. You know, I think states last couple of years has only been one with like
Yeah.
5, 10.
No, I give props to jumpers, whether it be triple jump, long jump, or high jump. It's definitely something that I can't do, and just trying to see the technique. I mean, high jump in itself, you got to get up like on 1 foot generally. So it's impressive to see people get up that high, and especially for me, I'm 5'5" or so. On a good day, 5'6". But seeing anyone jump over
Your
my height,
Wheaties.
I'm pretty impressed. So for anyone that does those events, good job.
You're not a jumper, Evan?
I mean,
Might be
I
able
like
do
to
long
dance
jump.
a little. Yeah, maybe.
I like to dance.
Well, like I said, I'm not the most graceful jumper,
All right,
pole
just
vault, or
for-
anything like that.
let people know,
I like to play
American flag
sports,
is
other
flying
sports, football,
down
soccer. I'm not
the
bad
shot
at,
put
but when it
area,
comes to other track
and we
and
are
field
just about to
events,
have the national
I'll
anthem.
stay to the track.
That was great.
Very nice rendition.
Yeah.
That was
of
beautiful.
The
I
national
liked
anthem.
that. I was never good at instruments.
I used to
music
play
stuff.
saxophone myself.
Triple jump,
Yeah,
please
call me
check
the
in at this
sax
time,
master.
as well
But,
as all 100
Yeah,
meter
no,
hurdlers
it's
and 110
anyone in the
hurdlers
band.
should have been
Props to
checked
them.
in
I
at
mean,
this
it was something
time
I wasn't really
behind the
into,
timing
but
tent, as
live
well
bands
as
doing the
100
national
meter
anthem at a sporting
athletes.
event is always pretty cool.
And
especially when
we
it's
may
kids
as
you may
well
know.
fall down
Way,
the
way better
1600,
than how they just like play the
Yeah,
recording.
like a, yeah. I
It makes it feel
Athletes
more
in 100
official, a little bit more
110
lively
hurdles
when you
should
have
be
people
checked in
actually
at
out there
this
either
time.
singing or
Pick up
or,
your numbers behind the
performing
timing
itself.
tent and then head on down. And then 100 meter.
Gives it a
men's and
nice-
women's
nice
should be
feeling.
getting hipped
Good
up
stuff.
as we speak. And we're calling the girls 1600.
So it looks like after this break, when we start getting into the finals, it's going to be a pretty clear shot through the rest of the meet, trying to get this moving again and try to finish it up on that 1:15 time.
Yeah, we're looking
frame.
looking all right. Still before 11.
Yeah, no, we're looking pretty good.
Been about an hour since the 4x8s went off.
I mean, you counted that 15 minutes, you know what I
Right.
mean? So
And, you know, hurdles and 100 meters. Just the transition takes a little bit, so should be pretty smooth from here on.
And it looks like we're about to get into the finals. We're waiting on trying to see exactly who is in the finals, but it should be a good showing from all these athletes either way. And let's just hope that some of them can get some PRs or improve their seat times going into the state meet.
I didn't notice. Did they announce the finals?
Not that I noticed, but I mean, I wasn't really looking out for it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the finals over there? No?
No, we're waiting to see. Hopefully they drop it off pretty soon so we can kind of announce before the event goes off. But we still got some time. They're getting set down there. I don't see an official quite yet to start them, so we have some
Still
more
on the
time.
side over there.
I also don't know what the
Making his way over, it looks like.
don't know what the format is for this. Is it just by time, or is it winner of the heats plus time?
I feel like it's going to be the winner of the heats
Plus-
get on automatic bid plus
Yeah.
whatever fills in.
Yeah, whatever. So 8 lanes, yeah.
So it'd be like if there was 4 heats. I want to say.
I think, yeah, there was
There was
2 or 3.
Yeah, I
Was
think
there
there might.
4?
Hmm.
I don't think so.
Either way,
Yeah.
we're gonna see
usually
some
how
pretty
it
fast
goes.
guys here. Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of crazy to think that New Hampshire cross country and track and field was only created about 3 or 4 years ago, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
now we're covering across the state, multiple meets, multiple competitions.
Yeah, we got a pretty nice setup going.
It's kind of cool. People say we were famous this morning.
Yeah, yeah. It's always kind of nice. People know it, people recognize you, and you kind of becoming the voice of New Hampshire, which is something unique to say. So
I remember during Black Bear when it was that terrible weather out. One of the spectators asked me about the website, and she was like, "You mean I could have been at home right now on the couch and still be watching this?"
and it looks like we are
Yes,
off
ma'am.
in the finals of the girls' 100-meter hurdles.
Looks like, what is that, White Mountain?
Looks like
Has
White
a-
Mountains is pretty comfortable up
Yep.
front, and the battle for second is going to be between Kearsarge and Guilford, and it looks like Kearsarge
Kearsarge.
might have edged her out. Guilford getting third.
They're in empty lane 7 in that final.
So we're going to pan back down, and it looks like we're going to try to pick up the guys' 110-meter hurdle final. We're going to move the hurdles a little bit around, as we talked about earlier, possibly because they're stride length. That's why they do 110 instead of 100 like the girls.
Yes, known fact.
It's
It's a fact now.
It's verified. You know?
We're experts
Yeah, really.
by this expert panel.
But yeah, so getting things done pretty quick. Good teamwork all around.
Good work by the hurdle crew, as always.
It's always nice to see some other teams helping in, pitching in, and making this meet run as smoothly as possible. It's just one of those things. You kind of help out here, and down the road, you get some help from other teams as well.
Yeah, it's like, you're standing next to a hurdle.
Why not?
Grab it.
Why not? But yeah, this should be one of the last events for hurdles through the day. I think we were going to have 300-meter hurdles later on. But
Those ones are a little easier, less hurdles.
yeah, and we were talking about that yesterday. We had one kid from Spalding.
Results
Who,
in women's
Adrian?
long jump.
Yeah, he was very smooth over the 300-meter hurdles.
Yes.
But watching the 110-meter hurdles, he was a little bit more choppy. He would hit the hurdles a little bit more, and it makes sense if you have a little bit more room to work with your stride. Take off a little bit sooner. You have a little bit more room. So it
Even
makes sense.
just, your stride is going to be a little bit slower.
Yeah.
With a jump of 15 feet, 11 and a half inches. From Interlake's Emma Wheeler.
We're not quite sure.
Should be only like 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, that's fine, because I can
Yeah.
make it. Because I have to leave around 12.
Yeah, no, it should
Oh,
be
yeah,
within the
you'll
next
be
20, 30 minutes. They're finishing up finals right now, and I think they jump into that after.
Yeah, it'll be the next event after the sprints.
Yeah, but getting back to the hurdles, like, how we talked about the 3-step. you don't really have to do that in the
Yeah.
300. So it's
Yeah,
definitely
you
probably
got
a little bit easier. I
a
mean, I'm sure there's
slightly
still
slower pace and more
more room.
Well, and you also have a little bit
Right.
more time to think about and adjust. If you have, if in this you can't make those split-second decisions, and you kind of have to just go with what you have.
Yeah.
In the 300, you have a little bit more leeway to I need to take a step back a little bit. You know what I mean? You can adjust a little bit more.
Right. Thank you. Oh, so
mean-
now we got some.
In this one, you basically got like less than a second in between each hurdle.
Right. Looks like. Oh, it's going to be a good one, but I think Kearsarge is going to get
Kearsarge's
that.
going to edge out. It's like
Newfound.
I wasn't able to get the time on that one. I missed it.
Very
We just got the seeding times for the finals. But yeah, so we're going to be going, now they're clearing the hurdles off the track. We're going into I believe it's going to be the men's, or it's going to be the women's 100-meter dash finals. We have Gabrielle Day from Belmont, Tara Smoker from Plymouth Regional, Laura Gingrich from
smoked 'em.
Guilford, Catherine Lurs from Plymouth Regional, Skylar Totkus from Laconia,
All
Brianna
girls
Fraser from
1600
Guilford,
runners
Julia
should be
Mara
checked
from
in at this
Maltonborough, and Lexi
time.
Stonis from
We are
Plymouth
now
Regional.
calling for boys 1600-meter runners. Please check in.
I'm excited to see that 1600 we were talking about earlier. Like we said, Maya Dewey should be running that fresh.
And that looks like it's going to be her only race of the day, so we're going to see if she's going to go out there and try to run a fast time, or she's going to go and try to get a primer for the state meet.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine,
I could see her going out pretty hard and trying to run
Yeah.
a fast time if it's the only race of the day.
Yeah. I was listening to some girls talking yesterday, and I think it might have been maybe the 800, but they
Girls
said,
high jump, please
do I
check
run my
in.
fastest, or if I'm already
Girls high
qualified
jump,
for
please check in
states,
at this time.
automatically do I run my fastest, or try to just
Go out there and
go out there and run it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it is nice to have a qualifying time already in your back pocket.
yeah.
Right.
So, if the race doesn't go perfectly,
Or if something doesn't feel right,
it's
you can
not
kinda,
too big of a deal.
kinda
Take
play
it
it
easy
out.
a little bit.
Right, yeah. You don't really want to be stuck on the back foot trying to squeeze out a state qualifying the week before states.
Yeah. Right.
So it looks like we're about to start the finals. The gun is up. We're waiting for the other hand to signal the beginning of the race.
Teensy bit windier right now.
A little bit windier. We can definitely feel it right now.
We'll see how the final times compare to the trials. Although it is going across the field, so it shouldn't make too much of a difference.
And we were able to get the time started on that one, so we'll see exactly when they come in. Looks like Plymouth is going to go 1-2. We have Tara Smoker and Catherine Lurs. Possibly yeah, it was those two that I just said. Looking pretty good right there.
Smoked him.
Yeah, just smoked them. Maybe that last name helps a little bit.
Yeah. How many times are we going to make that joke?
I know. It might be overused by now.
But it looked like it was Catherine Lurs that possibly could have took that over Tara Smoker, but we'll see. So now we're going into the men's 100-meter dash final. We have Keegan
Michael Key.
Unzen, Mikhail Merrill, Nick Travers, Remy Beaujouan, JJ Davis, Samuel Tuck, Forrest Pribernow, and Cale Swanson. And it looks like Plymouth has two in here, as so is White Mountain. So I'm going to see if they can snag some points in these competitions.
Over in high jump, looks like we switched to girls, so eventually those two boys that were left competing did get knocked out. But they were up pretty high. I have to look at the results for that.
And they are off in the final of the men's 100-meter.
This is a close one.
This is very close all around.
Oh, I
That
think
looks
Plymouth
like
took it.
Plymouth Regional, looks like Remy Beaujouan took that over, was it Kearsarge,
I mean,
JJ Davis.
all 8 lanes were basically in a straight
Yeah,
line.
that was a great
That was
final.
very, very close. So that finishes out our finals for the sprints and hurdles.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Now we're going to get into the 1,600 meter. We have 2 heats.
Starting with the girls.
And starting with the girls' first heat, we have Nye Adamkowski, Ainsley Towers, Vanessa Genakaus, Grace Purley, Amanda Dougherty, Catherine Stowe, Sindel Van Steensberg, Amanda Esters, Aurora Cateau, Sydney Bain, and Lily Stinchfield. As Jalesa Nelson just went back to try to promote New Hampshire track and field a little bit more at the shirt booth.
As me and Evan
Hold down the fort.
Are dual commentators on both sprinting and distance events.
We're
Jalesa
co-hosts.
only has expertise in sprinting, so
We're
Yeah,
very
she needs
well
to go
rounded.
back to selling shirts.
We need to sell those things. But yeah, so great competitions all around, and we're going to get into the women's 1,600 meter. Heat 1 of 2 right now.
So in this first heat, did you already introduce?
Yeah, we introduced them all, and it's led off by
Do you know how to pronounce that first name there?
Adamkowski.
Nice job, dude. What about the third name?
Genakos.
Janakos? Doherty? What about Van
Steensberg.
Steensberg? I love that name. So heat 1 of 2. Pretty good sprints and hurdles, huh?
Yeah.
It's
Very entertaining. Some
pretty
close ones.
Pretty active over at the interview 10 and the t-shirt 10. Reminder, if you buy a New Hampshire trackandfield.com shirt or a New Hampshire crosscountry.com shirt, that money goes directly back to the website. It's because of that and obviously Runner's Alley and our Meat Hub sponsors that we're able to do what we do.
And they are off in the first heat of 2 in the women's 1,600 meter.
and you get a lovely New Hampshire Track and Field t-shirt.
Exactly. Supporting the Granite State. 6:03. We're going to be in New England in just a couple more weeks. How's New Hampshire going to do this year? Everybody wanted us to host it again at UNH, but
UNH last year was a fun meet.
and that's one of the reasons why now NHIAA has invested in doing all the division meets there beginning next Friday with Division 1, and then Saturday we'll have Division 2 and 3. Division 2 in the morning to the early afternoon, and then Division 3 to from late afternoon to the evening. And of course there's lights on the track anyway, so it should be a great time. The scoreboard will be in use. The NewHampshireTrackandField.com will be running that scoreboard with, and obviously in conjunction with the great people at UNH. So we're super excited about bringing that. I mean, we were running the New England meet last year, and we just kept thinking we need to bring this really to New Hampshire for all the New Hampshire kids, because that's really why we're here. And we're out pretty fast here.
And our top seat time in this heat is 5:56.
This is Adamkowski right here, out in 81. 81's a little faster than 5:56 pace, and 81 will bring her around 5:45 pace.
Nice 10-second PR if she holds it.
Yeah, she might need a little help, but the Peloton is coming back up on her, I think, a little bit. You know what a Peloton is?
Isn't that a stationary bike?
Nope. That is.
That
but
is a stationary
it's
bike.
a stationary bike based
named
upon
after, yeah.
Oh, wow.
the pack in bike racing.
That chases
I
after
knew
the
that.
leader. Tour de France coming up. I'm going to promote that because I'm a fan of it. Tune in to NBC.
You Frenchie.
I like to sit on my stationary bike and bike with them. Feel like
I've
I'm
heard
in
they
the
really
competition.
cleaned up that sport.
Let's hope so.
Well, they definitely have caught Adamkowski. Let's see how she can
It looks
respond.
like she's dropping back into the second
Oh,
position.
she's waking up again.
She's going to try to
She's
hop
doing
right in.
another surge
She's
there.
gonna surge. Try to take back that first spot.
Adamkowski does not like running from behind. I'll give you an idea of who is challenging her. She's out front again. She kind of took a 200 off, and now maybe she's doing a fartlek. But I tell you, when I used to race people like that did not like running even paces, it made it tougher.
It is hard. It's nice kind of just have someone in front of you cruising along. Just follow them.
So please make sure to pick up your awards.
She's cruising, though. And I think that is Ainsley Towers from Plymouth in second, or that might be
picked up at the track shed.
the other Plymouth athlete, Amanda Doherty. Yeah, Vanessa Janakos from Guilford.
So going into the third lap. They're going to have
Her teammate.
one more after that. But it's starting to string out a little bit. You have the top 2 runners kind of doing their thing up there with a chase pack after those 2. The chase pack is just about 4 athletes. And then from there on, it's strung out a little bit more.
And I think that's Towers making some inroads in on Adam Kowski.
If she can get up and kind of hang on her, it looks like it's going to be a 2-person race for that top spot. But we're also going to see what that chase pack can do as they're trying to close the gap on those 2.
Getting a little warm for distance events.
Yeah. Still a beautiful day, though.
It's not supposed to get over like 60. It's
Too
kind
hot.
of perfect for everything.
Too hot.
Come on, DeLuca.
Davio tends to
Like it nice and cool.
be a little different when it comes to opinions on the weather, but we like it nice right now.
Hey, I'm the weather expert, remember?
That's
The wind's
true.
starting to calm down a little bit. It hasn't been very gusty lately.
It's kind of
Pretty
come and
quiet.
go. It's been pretty quiet. The finals it picked up a little bit, but it's been pretty quiet throughout the day.
Yeah, not much of a difference maker, I don't think.
Adam Kowski still with the lead. That's tough, man. That's tough sledding when you're leading like that.
We're gonna see if she can hold that. Into
Towers
this last lap.
in second. I would happen to think that's Vanessa from Guilford in third. And I would say it's Amanda from Plymouth in fourth. And then that's Catherine still from Guilford in fifth. So again, this is heat number 1 of 2. We're awaiting Maya Doobie, Alice Riley, Lily Bear, Maya Well Cooley in the next race. Leah from White Mountains is also in there. This is like the who's who of Division III in the next heat of the 1600. Maya Doobie, I think, has run 5:07 so far this year. Hasn't totally opened it up in the mile. So let's see what she has in store for us today.
Yeah, she's coming in with a 5:07.9.
Adam Kowski has opened this up, though.
It looks like she's going to try to take this away, and about 200 to go in the final lap here.
Towers is definitely running a more consistent pace throughout.
Very
But Adam
consistent.
Kowski's throwing down some surges. And then Vanessa from Guilford's in third. Still. And her teammate right behind her, Catherine, is in fourth, I believe. Adam
Looks like Adam
Kowski,
Kowski's really turning it on right now.
here's the kick. Giving everything she's got. Hands flailing everywhere. Perfect. That's the effort we want to see. She's
Giving
going to
it
take this one.
Everything she has going into it. And it looks like she could PR right here, and she will.
551, 552-ish.
It's going to be 56.
556. And that's it for going under 6, but we have a 601, 604.
In sixth place, Samuel Tuck of Franklin. Fifth place, Cale Swanson of Plymouth.
And finishing up,
Fourth place,
612.
Ethan Unzen of Prospect Mountain. In third place, Nick
Kingswood
Travers of
Messina
White
Kier.
Mountain. In second place, J.J. Davis of Kearsarge. And the winner of the men's 100 with a time of 11.86
Finishing up,
from Plymouth Regional, Remy Beaujean.
629.
So we're going to go into the second heat of the girls 1600 meter. Starting off with Maya Doobie, who has a pretty comfortable lead based on seed times at 5:07, followed by Alice Riley, Lily Bear, Maya Welcooley, Faith Goslin, Leah Dutkiewicz, Veronica Dowd, Jenna Bears, Caroline Day, Amy Burton, and Haley Duquette. So we have Davio taking some pictures of the start line. And right off the bat, you see Maya Doobie taking off. And it looks like this might be the only event she's going to be in today, so we're going to see if she's going to go out and just try to run a very fast time. Try to PR, maybe lower her seed time a
Yeah,
little
she
bit.
doesn't want to get stuck behind anybody.
Meet record's 513 by Kathy Livingston.
She has a
That's
decent
a
race.
pretty
She should
old
have
record.
that.
I'm sorry, 512. 512.1. Kathy Livingston of the famous Livingston family from Kennett. She set that back in 1984.
Wow,
So
doable.
let's see if
Wow.
Doobie can do this, and we could use our new graphic for a new meet record that Davio drew up this morning.
expert in all
And this
fields.
could very well
She's
go
not
down.
waiting at all.
She's run 5:07. She's more than capable of getting that meet record. She's gonna have to do it by herself though, which can get tiring. We saw yesterday we had Jake Winslow try to go for the school record and the
What
meet
was
record.
that he was trying to hit?
He was trying to
154. He was trying to
was
run.
trying to break
155,
154.
156 yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah, he went out a
And
little bit
he went out
too
by
hard.
himself. He ran the 800 by himself. Still impressive to do the 156 or so that he ran.
Definitely, yeah. They have a fast time.
But
Maya has definitely gone out fast. 73, 74, 74. So sub 5 pace. These guys, Alice Riley and Bear, are not going out too shabby either. That's 79 pace. So we are definitely on meet record watch.
If she runs anywhere around the PR, then
She'll have it.
Smash it.
From 1984.
We're gonna see how she.
She usually has a great kick too. So what you see here is nothing compared to what she can do.
We got to
with the
see how
kick.
she's looking about 800, and then the third lap I think is going to be the one where she's really going to have to grind it out. That fourth lap, you have the adrenaline if she knows she has a chance.
Strong middle distance runner, so you know she's got some speed at the end if she needs to use it.
So that's Riley and Lily Bear right now in a battle
They're not
2
too
and
bad.
3.
They're not too far off. They're
They look
looking
pretty
good.
And the next pack looks like
Again, just a reminder to all athletes.
We'll see when they
competing
come
and
around
finishing
in
the
front of
top
us.
We got 2 or 3 athletes.
That there are awards for you over in the track shed. So just go over there, give them your name, and they'll get
So we'll
you
see.
your
She's going to
awards.
probably come through around 230, 231, which would be about 501, 502 pace. 230, 231. It's going. Let's see what this third lap does. She looks very comfortable right here. Very comfortable right here.
And fast through the 8.
And fast. And Alice Riley and Lily Bear are not too shabby either at 240 or 520 pace. And this is Leah from White Mountains, followed by Faith Goslin of Winnisquam, Maya Well Cooley from Interlakes, and Amy Burton from Kennett.
Even second shouldn't be too
They
far
could go
off that
sub
record.
520. They go sub 520 here.
Yeah, they'll be
That'd be
relatively close.
Yeah, nice PR.
So she's, I tell you, Maya just continues to pour it on. That was another that was a 36-37 through the 200 of her third lap. She might break 5 minutes here.
She very well could.
She looks great.
Because I would say she's going to come through here pretty much same, and probably another 73 to 75, and then she's definitely going to run a faster last lap.
Yeah, really showing no signs of struggle.
Really impressive. Right now, I think Maya Doobie has safely established herself as one of the top 3 distance runners in the whole state of New Hampshire, coached by Ernie Brake at Kearsarge. This lap right here, boys, 74,
This is it
74
right here.
on that lap, 74, 75.
Now let's see what she can do on this back straightaway. She can hold it and kind of
She could break 5 minutes.
She could very well break 5 minutes here, and she looks great going into that first turn.
And that would be a huge improvement on that meet record.
I'm not gonna lie. I really hope she breaks it. Just
She's
so we can
taking
use this new
off.
graphic.
She's picking it up. She's
Yeah,
going to break
she's-
70 on this last lap,
she's
I
gonna
think.
She's cruising right now.
It's going to be about 15 seconds under that
And,
record.
and you still have Alice Riley and Lily Bear battling it out for second and third. Don't count out Leah from White Mountains. Here we go. Evan, I can't hear you.
I know. I'm trying to figure it out. She's looking great.
4:30 right now with 150 to go. She's going to break 5 minutes. She's going to smash the record.
She's looking great.
And look at this Maya Doobie kick coming right through.
Still looks great.
442, 443 right now with 70 meters to go.
Her form looks the same now as it did
She's
on
going
the
to smash the
first
record,
lap.
ladies and gentlemen. 450, 451, 452. The oldest meet in New Hampshire crosses the line at 455. That's a huge smashing of the record. There's our new graphic, new meet record. Congratulations to Maya Doobie. That was that was a 69 last lap, ladies and gentlemen.
That is
She just dropped
fast.
it hard.
That was impressive.
I mean, she might have just put herself in the. I mean, that's putting her right around Caroline Fisher, Sophia Reynolds, who she's been battling with. She's on her way, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, 5:29, 5:30. Lily Bear wins the Bear and Riley battle.
And that was a PR
Riley
for both
and
of them.
PR for both of them. Leah from White Mountains comes through in 5:38. Winnisquam 541, followed by Kennett 543. Prospect Mountain 545-ish. Another Kearsarge. They're going to have a great cross-country team next year. 554-55.
Great showing from these athletes. And,
Maya Doobie, you got to think.
Congratulations to Maya Doobie.
What was that time? 4:55-ish. That's sub 5, man.
That's incredible.
I mean, that puts her with the best in New Hampshire. That can
also
also put her.
I tell you,
she needs to stick with the mile.
Meet of Champions could be a battle.
How about New England's?
Put her in New England's.
New Hampshire.
My gosh, yeah. That was legit. All right, sorry. They don't mess around here. We got to jump to this next race already. We're still coming down off of the Maya Doobie 455 1600. But we got the heat number one of the 1600. We got Eli Misavage from Interlakes, Eric Phelps of Laconia, David Brackett, Portsmouth Christian, Dennis Simpson, Prospect Mountain, Luke O'Halloran, Portsmouth Christian, Matthew McDonough, Guilford, Louis Aranello from Kingswood, Ethan DeSaint from Woodsville, Joey Lennon from Laconia, James Brady from Kearsarge, Sullivan Musil from Laconia, Jared Wickham from Belmont, Gavin Hunt from Kennett, Boone Mixer Bailey from Kennett, and Michael Kulig from Plymouth.
And this looks like it's a pretty packed race. You have the waterfall start, and this could be a cluster for a little while.
Barrel start.
Barrel
Barrel start. We used to, in New York growing up, they used to call it the California start. Waterfalls, when they don't have the barrel, they just have the waterfall in the regular starting line.
Okay.
That's what they teach out in Michigan, I
see
guess.
what you're saying. Yeah, Michigan education's a little bit different. We kind of get rid of that little stuff right there.
People listen out there. Be careful.
Yeah, but I'm might as well call me the new resident. So.
Yeah. What has been your biggest adjustment to college training and just the college scene?
It's a little, for me, it was definitely going from the hills to the flats. There's a lot of flats, and that's a lot of the courses that we race at is flat compared to here where it's a lot of hills. You look at one of our staple courses is Manchester, and you have those hills in it. You don't get that a ton in college. So adjusting from the hilly training to the flat training was an adjustment.
What about mileage? I was more like thinking about that and the intensity.
Well, that too. I mean,
lifestyle.
You definitely have to really focus on hydration and nutrition. I know we pushed that here.
71 through the first 400.
My mileage definitely jumped. I was averaging, my peak during the season was 45. I'm averaging 75 to 80 now for my redshirt freshman year. So definitely jump in mileage, which is an adjustment.
What does that mean to be redshirted, Evan?
Redshirting is when you're not in uniform for the team, but you can still compete. You have to kind of register yourself and get to the meet. But you can still race at the same meets as your team. You're just not representing the school, and it allows to give you an extra year of participation to kind of grow and get used to the training and the atmosphere of college running.
Just looking at the race real quick to continue this conversation, it looks like Portsmouth Christian's David Brackett and Luke O'Halloran are taking the lead and taking control of this first section of the 1600 at Wilderness.
All 4x1 teams should be checked in at this time.
How about managing your time at classes versus high school, where you have to be in the school building from 7:30 all the way to 2:30, 3 o'clock? How did you enjoy that change?
I did really enjoy it, but time management became something that I definitely had to learn and redo, kind of relearn, because you go from class, and I might have 2 or 3 classes in a day, and I could be done by 10 o'clock. And
these guys are coming through at about 5-minute pace. Both Portsmouth Christian boys, followed by Laconia's Eric Phelps, and I believe that's Joey Lennon. There's three Laconia boys in that top pack, so I'm sure their teammate Sullivan Musso is in the mix there too.
But yeah, so it's just definitely something to learn, and once I figured it out, it's a lot easier. You kind of manage your time when you can. You go to practice, you come back, you kind of relax a little bit, do some homework, and go to bed. But it's definitely something you got to learn.
Fourth place in Connor of Newfound. Third place Kevin Schonlaw.
As it's still looking like it's pretty tight up front. You have the two Plymouth or Portsmouth Christian up front with a pack right behind them. So no one's really trying to run away with it quite yet.
Results of the men's shot put. In 6th place, Ryan Hardy of Plymouth. 5th place, Jacob Miner of Laconia. In 4th place, Gabe Turner of Messinic. In 3rd place, Zach Ducklos of Belmont. In 2nd place,
This is starting to pick up a little bit.
Franklin. And the winner of the men's shot put with a
David
total
Brackett
of
with the lead with his
46
teammate,
feet,
or that
11
might be Luke also, but Luke O'Halloran and David
from
Brackett are
Newfound,
continuing to lead.
Mason Delphonse.
It's a very
Yeah.
close pack.
Eli
with
Miss
one to go.
Savage
Very
is
close.
joining the crew. In 3:51. If they put in a good surge here, they could all go under 5 minutes.
I mean,
This could be a good race.
there's about 10 guys right now that could win
Yeah.
this race.
This could be a great race right here.
And even if Portsmouth tries to pull away a little bit right now, Portsmouth Christian, the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, that whole group right there could be very interesting down the final straightaway.
Still Portsmouth Christian in the lead. David Brackett or Luke O'Halloran. But you have Eli Misavage moving into 2nd place, and I think he's trying to set up for the slingshot.
Still not out of reach for any of those guys behind him, though.
Oh, you have a mad kick to the end, you never know.
It looks like a battle for 3rd between
McDonough from Guilford.
Guilford and Portsmouth Christian.
But here
But
comes
then look at that
Miss
pack
Savage.
behind them.
This is it's going to be tough to call, but it looks like Brackett from Portsmouth Christian is going to finish in 5:02, 5:03, followed by Miss Savage, followed by O'Halloran from Portsmouth Christian, and a whole slew. The rest of the field, really.
Wow,
Holy cow, that was a good race.
that was a cluster.
I mean, it went from 5:01 to 5:17, basically. This next race is going to be a heater also. So we are looking at Landon Valancourt, Zach Enos of Belmont, Logan Tebow of Messinic, Dylan Robert of Winnisquam, Chris Damaris from Kennett, Joseph Wasson from Kingswood, Kyle Mann from Winnisquam, Joseph Young from Berlin, Aiden Kellogg from Kearsarge, Joe DeTola from Interlakes, Tom Lick from Kearsarge, and Ryan Mason from Molten Borough.
Starting to see a lot of people doubling from the 4x8.
Starting to see a lot of previous faces. As we talked about Landon Valancourt, he comes in with a seat time of 4:33.34. As well as Zach Ennis, who's right there with 4:33.83. Says we just had Jalisa Nelson offer us some food. She comes over with what look like just buns.
Yeah, I mean, I
No
was getting
meat
excited.
inside the buns.
Two nice big cheeseburgers, but it was
Yeah, it's
just buns.
It looked like it's supposed to be a cheeseburger, and she comes over with just bread. I mean, I don't mind getting that bread, but I prefer a little cheeseburger inside sometimes. So, but yeah, we look back into the race, and we look like Belmont right
Ennis is
now.
out right away.
It's
He's
looking-
fresher, though. Good. The Messinic boys ran the 4x8, and that
And
was
they
not
ran-
too long
They
ago.
ran hard.
We
Yep,
see
That's Tebow.
Tebow's right behind him, trying to. He brought it back up.
And they're through in 61, 62, 63, 4:12 to 4:16 pace. Let's see if they can hold that. That's Valancourt in 3rd. Winnisquam boys, Kennett, Molten Borough, Interlakes.
We still have the battle up top with those two.
Results of the girls.
Like we did say,
1600. In 6th
Looks like
place,
Ennis
Amy
is
Burton of
fresh,
Plymouth.
so
5th place, Faith
The rest of the pack could come back on them, though.
they they went out pretty hard. 5:12, what was it, 4:12 pace? It's
Yeah.
pretty. It's cruising.
So
We
if,
haven't seen anyone drop that
if the
fast.
rest of the pack runs a little bit more consistent splits,
You see a couple guys actually.
Logan Tebow is not going away here.
No.
And they went out pretty hard. That kid is strong. They're coming through. They slow down a bit. Ennis is leading, pushing the pace a bit here.
He's looking pretty good,
212,
too.
213, 214, 428 pace. This is what Tebow has left in his legs. Valancourt comes through in 218, 219, followed by Kennett's Chris Damaris. The rest of the field's through in 229, so everybody should be under 5 minutes. Ennis and Tebow still doing their battle here. They've been kind of battling here and there all season. With about 600 to go, it's still Ennis and Tebow. Valancourt is now battling with Damaris from Kennett.
It looks like they definitely have dropped the pace down. Slowed it down a tiny bit, but still moving along, just those two. You see a battle for third with, looks like Valancourt and trying to see, it looks like that could be Chris Damaris from Kennett. So we're going to see how that plays out as well. And then a battle for that fifth position.
325, 326. They're going to have to work hard to break 430.
Starting to spread out a little bit more. With this battle for the fifth position between Winnisquam and Kingswood.
Valancourt versus Damaris is another battle. Ennis is opening it up here. He could go under 430. I mean, if he runs a 64 or better, that would set him up as the favorite for Division III in the mile.
Paulina Huckins of Newfound and Ashley Duckett of Newfound. And Ocean Skoog of Newfound.
And with 100 to go, 418, 419. He's going to have to really boogie here to get under 430. Meanwhile, Tebow is being caught by Damaris from Kennett, who's going to maybe nab second. A gutsy run by Tebow. And we're at 433 for Ennis. Damaris will be second at 438. Tebow doubling back, 439. And then Valancourt at 442.43.
Did you say boogie?
They boogie down.
It's nice to see that word.
He had a really boogie. We got to use it again.
Survive the
This
turn
is
of the
Kingswood, Jason Wasson. Berlin's Joseph Young, followed by Winnisquam's Dylan Robert. Interlakes, Joe DeTola. Kearsarge, Tom Lick, I think. There's two Kearsarges. Where's the other one? Oh, Aiden Kellogg. And then Molten Burrows, Ryan Mason, followed by Winnisquam's Kyle Mann, who also doubled. Man, Robert, man, there's a lot of guys doubling back from the 4x8.
A lot of them.
All right, here we go. 4x1s, and we have our superstar.
And she is
Jalaisa
back.
Nelson is back.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that 4x8 1600 double yesterday at Seacoast. Seems like a common setup this week before the state meet to do 4x8 16.
So we have the women's 4 by 100 meter. Just confirming, looking at the heat sheets, we have heat 1 of 2 with Winnisquam, Prospect Mountain, Franklin, and Woodsville. Now, Jalaisa, how important are the handoffs in this specific relay? I know we talked about 4x8s earlier, but when it comes to 100 meters, it's probably a little bit more important.
Handoffs in 4x1 honestly can make or break. Make or break. If you don't have those handoffs, it slows your time down. You could even, drop it. It's really important to practice handoffs every day in practice before the meet. I don't think there's too much practice with handoffs, honestly.
Yeah, we've seen some, like the 4x8 we talked about, you have a little bit more leeway. You can start a little bit slower, but like you said, the 4x1s, it's pretty important to, one, continue that speed because it's only a 100-meter sprint, but also make sure that the handoff is as crisp as it can be because you don't want to have to change your form to get the baton.
Yeah, I mean, if you lose a second in a handoff in a 4x8, that's
you can gain that back.
Yeah. Right, that's not a huge deal. But if you lose a second in a 4x1,
It's a big deal.
you lost.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. You don't want to slow that momentum down.
And we also tend to see more drop batons when it comes to some of these relays, especially in the faster ones like the 4x1, because it's such a quick handoff that if you don't get your hand on that right away, you tend to drop it or bobble it.
Right.
I mean, even if you bobble it and you do get a handle on it,
At that point.
a lot of times you're out of the zone anyways.
At that point.
Right. Or you've been, you're slowed down, so.
And you've been passed. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So handoffs are very important, especially when it comes to this relay. And looks like it's pretty close between, looks like maybe Winnisquam up top. I'm trying to see.
Hard to see from here. I'll be able to see better when I come down the stretch right now.
Last call for boys javelin.
Looks like a pretty good
It
lead.
looks like, yeah, it looks like Prospect Mountain and Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
Looking pretty good. Prospect Mountain is going to be able to pull away pretty cleanly. Is Franklin in second and Winnisquam in third.
Anybody that hasn't thrown yet, javelin is about to be closed.
We're going to go into the second heat of the women's 4x100 meter relay. And we have 8 teams, so a full track on this one. We have Kearsarge, White Mountains, Kingswood, Plymouth Regional, Guilford, Belmont, Newfound Regional, and Kennett.
You know, I'm surprised Plymouth is not up
All girls
towards
400-meter
the
runners
top
should be
of
checking
this.
in or have checked in at
Because
Just
of the
because-
hundreds earlier.
Boys
Right.
400
They had.
runners.
They
top
seem
two.
to have
Please.
a pretty strong sprinting squad.
Right. I mean, you might have 2 out of the 4, but those 4, I mean, who knows how
True.
fast the other 2 are. Could make a
True.
difference.
And coming into this one, Plymouth Regional looks to be the top seed
Oh, they
at
are.
a 53.97.
Never mind that.
But they have it. It doesn't look like they put them in order on the heat sheet, which is fine. But yes,
well,
they have a.
lane 4 would be
Lane
fastest.
4 would be fast, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
but I
so-
thought we were going heat 1 fastest to heat 2 slowest, but maybe we're going the other direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it looks like Plymouth Regional is top seed.
Okay, so
Followed
that does
closely.
That
make
makes sense. Okay, so it went slower to faster.
Followed very closely by Guilford with a 54.04. So you've got hundredths of seconds in between right there. Kingswood, third time with a 54.34. So there's about 4 teams with Belmont right behind that are in competition for that top spot in this race.
Kevin Sean Lauber of White Mountain.
Good handoff
Like Guilford out in front.
by it looks like
David
Guilford, but you
Hartley
see a
of
surge
Kingswood.
over in the back corner.
It's hard to tell on those corners.
Of Interlakes. Corey West.
Belmont with a very good leg, and they dropped the no, they actually did not.
Checked in at the long jump.
One dropped the
This is
baton. It
a
looks
great
like
race. Wow, who's it going to be? I think it's going to be Prospect. I'm sorry.
Plymouth.
Plymouth.
Plymouth coming through, having a great final leg. Belmont in second, Kingswood in third, and Newfound fourth. And we did drop a baton on that last one, but I'm not quite sure who it was.
Results of the girls' javelin. In 6th place, Ashley Duquette of Newfound.
Nothing worse than a drop baton.
5th place,
It's just very frustrating. We've had that. I've had that a couple times with some of the relays I've done 4x8,
Yeah.
and you can kind of recover in a 4x8, but especially in this, it's pretty much you don't even continue.
In a 4x8, I've obviously never run a 4x8. It doesn't matter if you drop it and it goes into like a different lane. It doesn't
No.
matter.
No.
Or what if it goes like into like the infield?
Yeah, that-
It can't go off the track. So
It
as
can't
long
go
as
as long as it hits on the track and you pick. Okay.
right,
'Cause,
as
like-
long as it's within the inside boundary, then you can pick it back up. and
So to go along with that, we actually had a 4x8 at Clipper Relays a couple years ago, and I was handing off to one of my teammates, Jake Snow, and we were going into it, and we went to hand off, and he bobbled it, and right next to the track was a storm drain. It was rolling off, and the storm drain set a little bit lower in the grass. He was able to scoop it right before it hit the storm drain, so in theory he was just able to keep it legal. And we were able to get back on, and we did okay, but it was just one of those scary moments, like, did we just get disqualified?
Right.
But he was able to save it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and once again in a 4x8, things like that can happen, and you still are okay. I mean,
Right.
it's not ideal, obviously,
Right. But it's better to have like get a time than be disqualified.
right. Whereas in a 4x1, if you do that, you might as well be
Yeah.
disqualified.
Well, most
because
likely. I mean, the baton has to land, can't go outside your lane, but most of the time, I mean, it's pretty small
Yeah.
area, so most of the time you're gonna
yeah,
get
especially
disqualified.
coming off the corners,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because the you're on the turn. Like if you drop it, it's probably gonna go outside.
Yeah,
the lane.
because
Yep.
when you run that turn
Yeah,
on a
exactly.
4x1, most of the time you're on a side anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so much easier for it to go out of the lane, and then like, you know, picking it up is not easy with a bunch of people around you. So it's usually
Especially
the
when they're
4x1 is-
sprinting.
and
Right.
yeah, and running
right.
full speed.
You're gonna get run over, basically. So
But this is a pretty
Wow.
close race between Laconia and it looks like Kings.
Oh, ooh. Oh,
Kingswood,
gonna
Plymouth
eat
Christian, and wow.
I want to say Laconia got that one.
Laconia might have taken that by a lean, but very close with those top three.
Yeah,
Portsmouth Christian, Laconia, and Kingswood.
that was a great 4x1.
So now we're going to get into the second heat of the men's 4x100 meter relay. We have Winnisquam, Prospect Mountain, Plymouth Regional, Kearsarge, Belmont, Kennett, White Mountains, and Newfound Regional.
I remember one time at New England's, our 4x1 made it, and we had switched people around, and I was anchor, and I put out the wrong hand.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really matter. New England's, we were gonna, you know, not gonna win it, but
but it's still something
Yeah,
that
it
is
was
kind of
like-
ugh.
I remember it was Sam Toscano. She was third leg, and she goes mid run. She goes wrong hand. And I was like, switched it real quick, but yeah,
There, you know, there's another thing.
yeah.
4x1, that's really important.
Mhm.
4x8, you put out the wrong hand.
It's all right.
No one really cares.
And they're getting set. And we are off in the second heat of the men's 4x100 meter relay. And they're out of the blocks quick.
Yeah, that was really good. Good starts.
As we're seeing White Mountains and Newfound Regional battling out at the back. We're going to see how this back straightaway goes. It looks like Newfound Regional or White Mountains are pretty good in the back. See decent handoffs. It looks like could be White Mountains. Yeah, White Mountains was in the, it looked like they could have been in the lead going to
Pretty
the final
close,
one, but
though.
really close right now, and it looks like
Is
looks
that
like
Korean that's this heat?
Kearsarge surging right now, but you
Yeah.
have Plymouth coming up on him. It's going to be Kearsarge for the win with Plymouth in second, Belmont third.
Another good race.
Good race at the end right there.
Had some good relays today.
I loved the 4x1. Better than the 100. More fun. People, you're on a team.
Yeah, relays are always a lot of fun.
I almost feel like you try to do better because, you know, other people are depending on you versus running by yourself.
Yeah,
Obviously,
definitely.
you always try to do well for yourself, too. But
Yeah, I think we mentioned that last night. We were talking about during 4x4s, how, you know, just having your teammates relying on you kind of squeezes that little
Right.
extra bit.
out of you, yeah. I agree. I mean, on a 4x4, I don't know how much there is left in you. But
Yeah.
4x1, you know, shorter.
The 4x4 is tough for everyone anyways
Yeah.
because, you know, since it's like the last event, basically everyone's already done
Right.
2,
Done.
3 events.
Right.
So,
With the volunteers for
Pretty
javelin,
tired.
please return to javelin. They're in the finals now. Please return
alright,
to
so
javelin.
this should be 400.
Open 4, yeah.
Starting with the girls.
Results of the boys 1600 in 6th place, Joseph Young of Berlin. In 5th place, Joseph Wasson of Kingswood. In 4th
I know we always
place,
talk about
Landon
this when,
Balfour of Messinic.
whenever
In
the
3rd
400
place,
comes up,
Logan
but,
Chivo of Messinic. In
Grace
2nd
Devaney of
place,
Concord
Chris Damaris of Kennett.
is
And the winner of the boys
ridiculously
1600
fast
with a time of
in a
4
400.
minutes, 36.17 seconds.
What did she run at Merrimack? She ran a new meet record,
Yeah.
and it was
I'm
like,
not quite sure what it was, but she
it was like 55, 56 seconds, something like
pretty
that.
comfortably the top sprinter in the
Oh yeah,
in the state.
I missed who you were talking about.
Grace Devane.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I guess she